Hey, this is Bruce, you're a boomer consumer, and I thought this would be a really fun video to make. What if I told you you could buy your dream system, hi-fi, give you a budget, say, up to $30,000, which is a substantial budget, but the catch is this system's got to last you the rest of your life. What would you buy? And that got me to thinking, because I'm kind of a pragmatic guy. I'm also very much into vintage audio as well as some of the new stuff. So I thought I'd share with you what I would buy today. And then I would very much enjoy reading your comments down below about what you would buy. So to get started, let's start with the voice of the system, the speakers. And for me, and I've auditioned many different brands of speakers, Magnapans, old Dalquist, I don't know if they're still around or not, B&W, just a number. And I got to tell you, I am a Klipsch fan. And the speakers I would pick would be the Klipsch Forte 4s. Those sell for, I got some notes here, $5,000 a pair. So they're not cheap. But there's certainly speakers out there that cost way more than that. But I love the big 12. I love horns. I just love how forward-facing they are. Those big 12-inch bass driver on them. I like the looks of them. I think they would do me for a lifetime if they had to. Now, I'm also a big fan of supplementing speakers with a subwoofer. What subwoofer would I get? Well, I'm going to stick with Klipsch again. I'm going to do the SPL 150s. That's got a 15-inch woofer, 400 watt of power. I think that would do me. Sells for about $1,400. And also I think it's a tremendous looking sub. And I think one sub would probably do the trick with the two Forte 4s. I love vintage gear, I very much do, but I think I would go with something new, but so closely resemble the vintage gear that I love. And I thought about AccuPhase, but you know what? I'm going to go with Yamaha. And I've always found that the best value is somewhere in the middle. They're top of the line, the S1200, the S2200, the S3200. I would probably go with the AS2200. It's like a 50-pound integrated amplifier, built like a tank. It's designed for analog, it really is. So it doesn't have a built-in DAC or anything like that, but it's so well made. Massive toroidal transformer, wonderfully made binding posts, brass binding posts, nice thick wiring on the inside. I even believe that they've got the wires connected to the top of the caps on this thing. Fantastic specs. It's 90 watts per channel, true 90 watts per channel. More than enough to drive those Forte 4s. And so well made, it probably would last a lifetime. Oh yeah, it also has VU meters. Who doesn't love VU meters? Everybody, if you don't, you should. I'm just kidding, but just a beautiful amp. And it sells for $4,500. What about streaming? What am I going to do about that? Well, I personally happen to use Apple Music, and I stream through some old Airport Expresses, but you got to have a DAC. So what DAC would I go for? Well, I looked at the Denafrips, was it the Aries 2? I've looked at several different DACs, but I'm going to go with the Skit Audio. That's SCHIIT audio. You know the word. But they're Bifrost DAC. They're a multi-bit Bifrost DAC for $700. Why? Well, first off, it's upgradable. It's actually modular in nature, so you can upgrade that DAC as technology improves. I'm also a fan of their products. I already own several of their DACs. They're great DACs. Good value for the money, well built, made in the USA. Why not go with Skit Audio? Well, you know I love my CDs, and I thought, would I be happier using a CD transport such as the one from Cambridge Audio, or just get really about the best consumer CD player you can get. And I decided that I would go with the Marantz CD 6007 CD player. They sell for about 800 bucks. Highly respected. Lots of good reviews of that unit. Attractive looking unit. Think it would last for many, many years to come. So I would probably go with that Marantz CD player. So between my Airport Express and the DAC and the CD, I've got my digital needs covered. But what about analog? Well, let's talk about my turntable. This is where I'm going to kind of go away from the new path and say, to me, my dream turntable is the Denon DP47F fully automatic turntable. It is an absolutely stunning turntable. The problem is they're very old. What I would have to do is get one that has been restored. There's a lot of servos and a lot of electronics in there would have to be gone through, new capacitors put in, totally adjusted out, things lubricated and put into within spec. And you can get them for around $400 to $500 imported from Japan. But to find one that's actually been refurbished, been restored, you're probably in that neighborhood. I'm guessing around about $2,000 fully restored. And I want to put a Ortofon black cartridge on it, which is $700. Now, I have a current Ortofon blue cartridge on my Fluence RT85. But I've not additioned the black, but by what I understand, it is an absolute beast of a cartridge, well worth the money. It brings out a lot of detail, and I think it'd be an excellent complement to that Denon DP47F turntable. Now, to round that out, I also happen to like my cassettes. Now, to me, the pinnacle of cassette decks was the Nakamichi Dragon cassette deck. However, I still love the looks of vintage Pioneer cassette decks, and the CTF 1250 is a beast of a cassette deck. It is, to me, an absolute stunning looking piece of gear. One that, even if I'm not playing cassettes, just to look at it is such a beauty. I would be quite happy with that. Grand total, all in, I'm around about $17,600. Oh yes, the price on that. Restored, you're also in about the $2,000 category. Now, when I say restored, I don't mean that they cleaned up, deoxed the pots and maybe changed the belts. No. I mean the transport is rebuilt. I mean that the electrolytic capacitors are replaced. Everything is scoped out, measured, back to factory spec. The heads are inspected. You can't get replacement heads for these things. The motors are A-OK, possibly even rebuilt, because it's a lot of money, $2,000 for a cassette deck. But nonetheless, it is just, to me, just as much a work of art as it is a functional 3-head cassette deck that records both on standard cassettes, chrome, and also metal. I currently own a CTF 900, which is an absolute stunner. It doesn't record on metal tape. So there you have it. Klipsch Forte 4 speakers, the Klipsch SPL 150 subwoofer, the Yamaha AS2200 amplifier, a Marantz CD 6007 CD player, the Skit Audio Bifrost 2 DAC, the Denon DP47F turntable with the Ortofon black cartridge, and a Pioneer CTF 1250 cassette deck. That would be my system that I think I would be content with for the rest of my days. But like I said, I'm really more interested in seeing what you would want. That's it. Bruce Naylor, your Boomer Consumer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.